right? Or we're going to start a process, which is the process which contains all the AI agents. So when you start this request is when we actually try to obtain certificate for a clinical trial for a country, right? All right, I'm going to start with data collection. We're going to go in. So now I'm inside of my agent. Okay, it's not an agent, it's a process, right? And I'm going to set my prompt. You can set a catalog tool in your process, or you can use the little configuration capabilities that we have and just one into like this in this case. And then we reach the data collection agent. And I'm going to pause here. Yep. So that you can see this. This is the scenario where I've got my agent that runs. This is where the magic happens, right? But all of the tools in the process are here, right? So it is going to call these event sub-processes. We did it like this the whole way through because it's a very good and clean way to express things in your process, right? And again, the nice part about this is the fact that if I want to put one step in here, I can. If I want to put an entire process with 28 steps and lots of parallelism and other things, I can do that too. Okay. So here you'll see it in this demo, just kind of activate all the tools in the order that it wants. And again, is the fact that all three here get activated just means that the agent file that it needed to act, it needed to call all three of them. This here, I'm inside of my event sub process, if you look here, and I just have a single service rule call that I'm making. So this one is pretty easy. Okay. We'll look at different scenarios. Okay, that's done. I'm going to go back up and I'm going to get out of my data collection agent because I'm finished here. So let's go back up one more level. Now I'm back up to the top level process, which is a deterministic process. We're going to drill into policy review agent. Okay. And same thing as before. I'm going to set the prompt and I'm going to call my policy review agent. So this is kind of an interesting one. I'm going to go into this tool, which actually uses Watsonx AI to do a RAG lookup based on an SOP to decide whether I need manual intervention for this certificate. Okay, meaning is there an issue with the insurance that you're requesting, the insurance policy that you're requesting? Question?
I see the agent auto picks which one it wants to.
The agent completely decides what to run and in what order, if at all.
Yeah. So now, is it possible to force it to go into each to say all these steps are mandatory?
But if you want to be fully deterministic, then you should use a workflow, right? So like it's a right. This is kind of how you want to do it. Yeah. Okay. So here and we're doing it. I mean, this is the nice thing is you're in the workflow. So if you want to do this kind of stuff, then you can. Right. All right. So here we're going to drill into the service tool in this case, which is going to go on top to Watsonx AI to do a RAG lookup. And in this case, we just have basically the SOP that it uses. You'll actually see it configured in Watsonx AI, basically as the document that was used to build the vector database for it, right? Right here. Okay, so that's what's basically used here. And then once it does the lookup, you'll actually see what happens in the next step. Because here it actually says, well, based on this, it looks like you want an insurance policy that's not going to work. And it actually explains why. So here, my tool is a human task. Okay. Which, how does it work? Well, it just gets assigned to a user, and then the user works on it, like it doesn't work for it, right? And this is the interesting part. And here's what it says: the provided trial information. It says that the status justification failed, and this is something that the LLM provided here, right? Based on that RAG lookup, the provided trial information appears to be comprehensive, including details such as trial phase, blah blah blah. However, Upon reviewing the insurance certificate details, the insured amount is $500,000, which is significantly below the minimum required coverage limit of $1 million for occurrence. The SOP gave that, right? And so it made the decision based on that. Okay, so then the user can then make some modifications as needed, etc., etc. Okay, let's say that I made the changes and I'm going to submit those changes. Now everything is happy. You hope. And then at that point, the agent is going to maybe update the state in the database, for example. You might just say this is a tool that makes it so that if the instructions say you need to also store the state every time, then you can just use a tool of this. I'm going to go back up now from the policy review agent and go to the communication agent. This is where we communicate with the insurance provider. Okay. I mean, like we can keep going. You can recognize the same pattern used over and over again because we liked it because it was okay. But here, the first one is going to generate the email content to the insurance provider. The next one is going to send email. This just happens to show you the email that was sent here. Okay, this is kind of, so that was a tool. But yeah, so this actually shows you the email that was sent to the insurance provider, which has complete context and complete information, just like you would in a if this were a human. This is really super, super cool, that it works. And once that's done, we're going to float back up and we are about done here. The last thing that we'll do is the certificate batch. So we're going to float back up since our communication agent is going to be done. It's going to pop up once again to the top level process and go one last time down the rabbit hole. Certificate management. And in this one, we only have one tool. Okay. We didn't need to do that because this could just be something that we could have done in workflow. There's only a tool, and we always want that tool to run. So really, we could just do it. We could just have done this. Okay,
Future proofing it.
Yeah, but I mean, we just kind of got overly excited at that point, and let us do this for one more time because it's really fun. And then in this case, I don't think that we're doing anything special, are we? No. Oh, the one thing this just shows the fact that in your event sub process, in this case, you don't have to have one task. Right? You can just have lots and lots, and any workflow construct that is allowed inside of an event sub process.
But this one, in the future, I think what we could do here is the vision is to be able to manage renewals as well. Right, so you can set that up. When you issue the certificate, you can say, okay, this is what I need to happen, so far in the future, or things like that.
What happens when we're done with this is you're going to see your insurance certificate. Yeah, this isn't so much, but we go back to the UI, and here I can actually view the certificate that was issued. Okay, and the last but not least, I can also see the entire execution log, which says this is what each agent decided to run, which tool, and for what reason. Sorry, I really should open this so that you can actually see the inputs and the outputs of each tool and so forth. But you get a full trace of what you did as an agent. Okay?